Good morning, everyone. How are you going? Welcome to my kitchen. So today is all about the destination range, so the new May products. So I think Kaszazz had a bit of a chuckle bringing out this range at this time, but this time is giving us time to actually scrap our previous destinations or look forward to get to plan ones that we're looking forward to in the future. So what I thought I'd do is just go through the flyer. Now, because of the coronavirus, Kaszazz has decided not to print out the flyer. So we can all print out our own copies. So they've decided not to have it published. So I have put the link into the description of the event, so you can just print it from there if you want to. So these are some of the new projects. So this is one of the little workshops. So one of the classes that I'll be running. So you can see the little Z fold card, and then the two other cards. And then this is a little card set that I designed using some of the new products as well. These are some of the scrap layouts. You can see them very well. That's the other page. And here's another one of them. So page 1, of course you'd be able to, I've put Roma on there because I'm going to put my Italian photos on this. Haven't had a chance to put them on yet. But of course you could put any name on there that you wanted to. And there's the second page there. So that's just a couple of the projects that have come out with this range. So there's all the lovely stamps. Oh, the papers. So I'll try and give you a bit of a close-up of the papers. So that's one of the papers. And then you've got the reverse. Then you've got this one. Actually, I think that might go that way. Might be better. And then the reverse, all the doors and shutters. And then you've got the world map. And then the tags. So you could use those for pocket pages for your scrapbooking, or you could use them for card making. So that's the 3 new papers. Then we go on to our lovely stamps. So all the stamps, these stamps you can cut out using our dies. So the dies will fit those exactly, and also these little ones here as well. So lovely sentiments. I particularly like this one, which I'm going to use in the demonstration today. Happiness is a journey, not a destination. So there's lots of lovely sentiments. The other one that I really like is for those people that hate to doodle. I love doodling around the edge of cards, but these are great stamps for those people that don't like their own doodling. So there's a bit of doodling there for you already. Then this is the alphabet that I was talking about that I have done with the Roma, the map of the world. And look at, got a lovely Australia there very prominently. Then there's all these lovely little quotes about Nana and Poppy, family, mum, brothers, sisters. So they're lovely little quotes to use in your scrapbooking or to use for your card making as well. Then we've got our big 12 by 12 chipboard packs. So I'll just give you a closer look at those. So here's our borders one. So you can see they'd be great borders. There's a little fence post here, which I thought is really cute. The vines and then the music with the, what is it called? A treble clef, I think. Here's me very musicianish. So there's those ones. Then there's the flower power, which I think is really lovely too. I can't wait to use that on a scrapbooking page. Then all the big, what do we call chipboard words for your scrapbooking layouts as well. They're probably a bit too big for cards, but great for scrapbooking. So enjoy the moment, cool vibes, precious. So lots of lovely words on there. Then there's the big alphabet letters. They're quite funky as well. And then there's the new little chipboard frames, which were used on, you can see they've been used on the cards there. So this little one here. So there's the set there. And then of course the new little then we've got, yep, the chipboard there, and then we've got our little chipboard shelves as well. Then you've got the new stencil. Probably can't see that very well. I'll put it on the black. Let's see it a bit better there. So the world stencil. So that's very cool. Oh, I've got it back to front. There you go. It's in the right orientation now. And I'll be demonstrating with that today. Then we've got on the back page, we've got our scrap layout kit and the card making kit. And as some of you might know, I was asked to design this one. So I got to design this one. So this is my design here. So I'll just show you quickly what's in the pack. So you can see it's really good value. You get 3 sheets. You get the 3 sheets of paper, plus you get 2 sheets of white cardstock. Then you get the inspiration sheet. So it's got the pictures of the layout there. And then you get the sentiment page as well. Then you also get the packet of Hessian, the arrows, and some white ribbon as well. So it's a nice, neat little pack. So that gives you the double page layout. Now you don't have to copy my pattern. You can always create your own. You've got all of that stuff to create your own with. And then of course you've got the card making kit, which I think they've made up 20 different cards there, but you've actually got 30 white card. So lots of embellishments, lots of inspiration there if you just want a quick set of cards to make up. Good mail set as well. So that's basically it for the flyer. If you're interested in buying any of the products, of course, just contact me and I'll organise that for you. Now to get on with the little demonstration. So today I'm going to demonstrate these 2 cards. What I wanted to do first though is just show you embossing chipboard, because I think that's a really cool technique, and it's what we've used on the card. So we've embossed the little chipboard word here. I don't know if you can see, but it's come up really lovely and glossy. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. The word love. No, it doesn't look like it's shining too much. Try and get the sun on it. You can just, maybe there. Can you see that? There you go. So that's been embossed. So I'll just show you how to do that so that you can, because I know probably lots of you have got chipboard at home, and it's nice to be able to try different things. So what I do is just put ink all over, just swipe the ink. You can either swipe it into the ink pad or swipe it on top, whichever works best for you. And then quickly get the embossing powder on. I had some discard sheets here, so just quickly getting the embossing powder on. Okay. And then just heating that up. And just heating that. I might put that away just in case I heat that or blow it away. So you just heating that up until it changes colour. Now I've used the oxide ink, sorry I didn't mention that. I've used the oxide ink because that stays nice and wet. Burn my fingers. So it's something different to do with your chipboard. Put that out of the way. So you can see, you can see there that it's nice and glossy. So just something quick and easy to do to make a difference to your chipboard. So now I've find that especially with clear embossing powder and white embossing powder, it can get grubby very easily. So especially when you've got cats in the house and they decide to walk over the top of your embossing powder. So you can see already here that I've got a couple of little specks of black. Now that's okay if you've just got a couple of specks, but what I find is I tend to keep a discard jar. So there's a bit of cat hair in there. So I pop the contaminated, I continue to use it, but I've lost my words today. I pop the contaminated stuff into a discard jar so that when it gets too grotty, I can just get rid of that rather than pouring that into the fresh, new jar of clear embossing powder. So that's what I tend to do with my clear and my white. So have a discard jar that when it gets too grotty, you can just throw it out, but you're not contaminating a whole new jar of the embossing powder. So that's just my little trick for the day. Okie dokies. So we're just going to we'll do the World Traveller one first. So all we're doing is stamping. And we're going to use archival. I love the archival ink because it's lovely and crisp. So we're just going to ink up. So again, I tend to ink up. I just tap down with the stamp on a flat surface. So then you're less likely to get ink on the edge of your page, on the edge of your stamp. And then we're just going to line it up here. And we're just going to press straight down. No rocking, because when we rock, we then get those halos forming. There we go. And then we've got our other little stamp here, our little passport stamp. So I'm just going to pop that in the corner. And then we're going to add just a little bit of the road map. So we're just going to portion stamp this. So portion stamping is just inking it up but holding it in your hand and just tapping down bits and pieces. Okay. Then I'm going to edge around this with the walnut, which I've got here. So just when you're just circling your blending tool around, and then you're just edging around the edge of your cardstock. And then because it's like a vintage kind of look, I'm also going to use my paper distresser, and I'm going to distress around the edges. So you can do this as roughly. I quite like a rough, so the rougher you rub, the more distressed it's going to look. That's okay. And then you can give it a little bit of a tear and roll the paper, you know, just whatever you feel happy with doing. Just give it a grungy sort of look. Then just to prepare it, get it ready, just going to pop the 4 bits of tape on the back, sort of towards the edge. And we've got our trusty bits of card here. We're just going to fold that. Fold that in half. Use our bone scorer. And we can just edge around the edge of the card as well. So that's done. So we'll just stick that on and then we'll prepare the tag. Right. Just line that up, just leaving an even border. Oh, and we can do a bit of doodling around the edge as well. So just with the Spectrum Noir pen, so we can just do just a straight line or just a couple of lines just to doodle. Do a couple of little squiggles, and that just adds that bit of doodling in. Now for our little tag. So we're just going to pop that there. We're going to use the walnut stain again. So again, just tapping down, having my piece of paper and my embossing powder. There's my little discard. That's the good one. That's a little discard jar there. Just tap down. Now with the paper, with the cardstock, our cardstock has a textured side and then a smooth side. So if you like that smooth, crisp finish, so you can see here on this, I've used the textured side. So it's a little bit more grungy. It's a little bit more speckled. So if you want a nice crisp image, you'd use the smooth side. If you want that grungy look, which I like, it's sort of more a bit vintagey, if there is such a word, I'm going to use the textured side. So just plonking it down, giving it a good press down. And then on our piece of paper, just going to sprinkle on the embossing powder quickly. So we've got our embossing powder on. Then we're just going to get rid of the embossing powder. So dump it over there. And then we're going to heat up. There we go. That's done. So when I'm embossing, I tend to not flick it around. I tend to follow how it's going, and as it melts, I then move on. Because if you flick it backwards and forwards, you then are going to maybe overheat certain areas. If you just follow it as it changes, then I find that's the best way to emboss. Now, I had that tag. I know I had that tag. There it is, under everything. So what we're going to do is just line up on our little cutting mat. So lined up as best we can. And then I'm going to just use a piece of washi tape to hold it in position. Washi tape is such a handy little thing. So that looks pretty good. So we're using the little Gemini Go. So just put that through. And while that's going through, I'm just going to get my piece of string ready to thread through. And clicking and clunking going on. That's all normal. I'm just going to edge around with the walnut stain. Now we can thread our string through. So just folding it in half and then threading it through. Then what you can do is, that might be just a bit long. I'm just going to cut it off. And then you can untwist the threads to make it a bit more frayed, a bit more used looking. Just untwisting. And then you can untwist each thread. as well to give it that more frayed, dishevelled, vintage, shabby, whatever you want to call it, look. Oh, someone's banging out there, having a nice time. There we go. Then it's just a few mounting tape in the back. And Brennan's working here, so if you can hear the typing, the clicking in the background, that's him working away. Okay. And then just popping that on there. Okay. So that's that one, and then I'll do this one. So with that one, we're going to use the world stencil. So we're going to use that directly onto the card. And again, we're going to use our oxide inks. I think the oxide inks, because they're a bit creamy, they're a bit pastel-y, they're great for that sort of vintage look. So in this one, I'm going to use the faded jeans and the peeled paint. So the faded jeans I'm going to use in the water area. I'm just going to slip that on so you can see where I've used this yesterday. I was playing yesterday. So I'm going to try and just pop that more towards the water area. So I'm just plonking it on. Doesn't really matter because you can't see a lot of the background anyway, but it just gives, if you're going to do it, you may as well do it the right colours, I think. So just trying to work out where the blue areas are. So you don't have to be too precise, it doesn't really matter. And then a bit of the green. So just relining the stencil up again, and then just popping a bit of green in for the land. And if the two colours go over each other, it really doesn't matter. And where they go over each other, it gives quite a nice colour change anyway. Then what I did was I used the Vintage Photo, which is a lighter brown than the walnut stain, and just go around the edge . But to me, I don't really like that effect. So what I did was then go around with the blue again, and I found that just toned it down, but gave it that little bit of a difference to frame that card a bit better. So that's that part. Then I've added the little worlds, the little double world. So this little stamp here. And again, I'm using the black archival. So I'm just going to put a couple of those on. So maybe down there. The top of the world. And that's where we were. Norway, we felt like we were on the top of the world. So that's that part done. Now we're going to do the little border. So again, we're going to use the Gemini. Going to use our die, our border die. I love this die. It's one of my favourites. I've been using it a lot. As you can see, I've used it on all 3 cards of the card set that I designed yesterday. And then just holding that in place. So you can see this die comes with 3 parts. I'm only just using this one part. So you can actually get the die actually comes with a 3rd piece that will go along the bottom here and cut that wave out. But I just want that to be straight. So I'm just lining it up, popping down the tape so it doesn't move. And then popping all the shims in place, and then we're cutting that, and then just popping that through. Now while that's going through, I've got my little piece of cardstock here, and I'm going to use the blue, and I might even emboss this. I think I didn't emboss that, but I might emboss this piece. So we're just going to stamp that. So just popping it on, stamping down. Peeling it off and just scooping it into the embossing powder. Popping that away again. And just heating it. So you don't have to emboss this, but I think sometimes it just gives another little dimension, and it's great with the oxide inks because they do stay wet, so you've got time to get the embossing powder on. So rather than buying different colour embossing powders, all you need to do is have your clear embossing powder and your coloured ink. There you go. So I don't know, again, if you can, trying to get the sun on it a little bit so you can see that. Then just to add a little bit of interest to it, I'm going to pop, just partially stamp the little worlds onto there just to give it a little bit more depth. And again, I'm going to edge it with the brown. Oh, that's the walnut stain. Use the vintage photo. Just edge around that. And then edge it with the blue again with the faded jeans. I think those 2 colours blend really well together. I really like them together, the blue and the brown. So there you go. So that's that done. And then we can just pop a bit of mounting tape on the back of that. Now again, when you're putting your mounting tape on, just put it in from the edge. Don't put it on the very edge because you want to see it float. you want to make it look like it's floating rather than being able to see all of that foam tape. Oh, taken it off, but I haven't put my border down yet. I think that's done. And that's cut through. Now, sure, there it is. My faithful little tape runner, which is great for going over the backs of dies, intricate dies. So this tape runner is made up of little dots. So I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but what I'm going to do is just run it over the die cut. And what it does is it only goes onto the card. It doesn't go across the gaps. So I should have measured this so that it fits perfectly, but it might. Sometimes when you die cut things, it just stretches the card a little bit. So we just trim that off just a tiny bit there. A tiny bit there. Okay, so that's that part done, and then we're just going to add our little sentiment. Straight. So that's done. So I hope you've enjoyed the little play today. If you've got any questions about any of the products, also to let you know, a little special bargain that I've got. I have a new Gemini Go here for sale. Not this one, this is my one, but a brand new spanking one, still in its box. And the first in best dressed for $170. So Kaszazz has put all the prices of the Geminis up because of the lower Australian dollar as compared to the English pound, the British pound. So all the Geminis have gone up in price slightly by 5%, I think. I'm still happy to give you a 10% discount on any Geminis. So if you're interested, just give me a hoy. You know where I am. Okay, bye. Have a great day and have a wonderful weekend. See you.